In this video, I'm going to demonstrate some date criteria in a query, as well as using the expression builder. So to start out with, I've got the orders table in my query, which is orders that this company has received for product. And there is a required date field. And again, I'm going to look at my datasheet view and just have a look at the data. So I see that the date format is year, month, and day. And so when I'm doing date criteria, I just want to make sure that I have the proper date format because there are a number of different date formats that we can include in a query. I'm going to go back to my design, and as an example, I want to find all of the orders that are required in December of 2020. Okay, so I'm going to put the year 2020, then there's a hyphen, the month is 12, hyphen, and I'm going to use the asterisk to indicate that it can be any day in December of 2020. And so when I run my query, it looks like I have 5 results, and I just do a visual check again to make sure that it looks like I have some reasonable results. If I was looking for orders required on a specific day, such as the 2nd of December, then I just do the exact criteria. So rather than using the asterisk as a wildcard, I just put in the exact date that I'm looking for. We can use the between operator with dates. So I could say anything due between, and this time I'm going to type in my pound signs to enclose my dates. So I'm going to say anything between 2021, January 1st, and 2021, June 30th. Anything required in the first half of 2021. So I'm using my between and operators, and it looks like I've got 29 orders that are required in the first half of 2021. We can also use the greater than and less than operators with dates. So I'm just going to do anything prior to 2021. So I'll do a less than. And so it's basically showing me any orders that were before 2021. And you can see this is a fairly large table. This is returning 755 records. So quite a lot of data. And again, we just want to verify and try and make sure that we are getting the correct data that we're looking for. Now, calculated fields or using the expression builder. So in the expression builder, we can, I would say there are sort of 3 categories of things we can do. We can do date math, which is the first thing I'm going to do. We can do just any sort of numeric calculation or expression, and we can use built-in functions. So I'm going to click in this column, and I'm going to go up on my ribbon, and I'm going to click Insert Columns. And I want to find the difference between the required date and the order date. So I want to know how long we have to get these orders out. Anytime that you want to use the expression builder, you can right-click in the field row and you can go to Build. So we build the expression in the top portion of the window. And what I'm going to do is go to my table, which is, so this is my database file, my tables, and my table is the orders table. And I'm going to include the required date field by just double-clicking it. I'm then going to subtract the order date field. So it's going to find the difference between those two dates. I usually just click OK and let Access put expression 1 here, and then rename the field to give it a more descriptive name. So I'm going to say days to deliver. And when I run the query, so for example, this order was the 1st of January. It was required by the 6th of January, and so we have 5 days to get it delivered, and so on. Of course, at this point, this query has no criteria. So it's the full table, 811 records, with a new derived or calculated field. I'm going to go back to the design and I'm going to add criteria. So let's say that I want to find any orders that we have a week or less to deliver, 7 days or less. So I'm going to say less than or equal to 7. So, what orders do we have to get going on? Anytime I see something like this, I might, try and see if I've got a bit of an anomaly in my database or some problem with the data. And that's why it's a good idea just to have a quick look. We might have to follow up and see what's going on there. But for the most part, it looks like it's showing the orders that we need to get out in a hurry. I'll take this a little further, just continuing along the same idea. Let's say, for example, that anything shipped outside of North America has a freight surcharge. Okay, so I want to find anything that's being shipped, so not to Canada and not to, and I can't remember, I have to quickly look at the country, at how they put it. Yeah, USA. Okay. So I've said for the country, if it's not to Canada, if it's not being shipped to Canada, it's not being shipped to the USA, display those records. Okay. And still it's including anything that needs to be shipped or anything that was to be delivered in less than a week, right? So we have an and criteria. And now what I'm going to do is add another calculated field to calculate this supposed freight surcharge that I have. So I'm going to click in the empty column in the field row. I'm going to right click, build, and this time I'm going again to my database and my table, and I'm going to include the freight field, and I'm going to multiply it, so asterisk by, let's say there's an 8% surcharge. I'm going to name it freight surcharge. And just check my results again. And it might be nice at this point to format that to currency. If you want to do any formatting on fields, you can right click and show the properties of the field. And so in the format column, I'm going to choose currency. And so that's just a calculation that uses a combination of a field and a number, and we can do any sorts of combinations of those types of items.